What we have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see.
Audio Jungle.
Hello.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Pablo.
We see things as separated by a certain distance. We walk across a room and we think, well, we've left the far wall of the room behind us and so forth. But there's an attempt to say, well, maybe things that from our macroscopic point of view appear to be widely separated in space, like New York and Chicago, just to take two macroscopic examples, from a microscopic point of view might actually be. What we have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see.
Are you sure about that?
Hey Jared, you sure you're not drunk? Or the dooms? Hello guys. I can confirm that indeed borgar. But unfortunately for you, there is no borgar. The borgar is now inside of my stomach. The borgar is now marinating with the gastric gases inside my body. I ate it several hours ago. Yeah. Yo, we are just floating there kind of sent me, did it? Yo, we are just floating in the middle of borgar. Dion, bro, what? I got clickbaited. I thought I was gonna get Modus eating borgar. Where did I say that? I never said that. I never said that specifically. I never said I was gonna eat borgar on stream. I just said borgar. You made up the rest, brother. Uneatable. Oh man, I can't see. Then you might be blind, bro. I am sound of mind. I just didn't try. Okay, I just didn't try when I typed it in. I made false expectations. Guys, I have a public service announcement to make. Today, this morning, I saw all the Black Friday announcements on socials and like stuff. To be honest, I have been seeing them for weeks because like shops have been like extending Black Friday to basically Black Month now. So, but I saw them especially today, this morning, Black Friday, and then I remembered, wait, I haven't done a Black Friday sale. So here I am. And, well, fortunately for you, I have remembered this morning real quick before I left for the rest of the day. I went into my fourth wall dashboard and I just made the promo thing where you can get any of my packs, including the Nova bundle, for 50% off. The discount auto applies at checkout, okay, and it will be available throughout this weekend, okay? So it will end Sunday midnight, so the midnight between Sunday and Monday, my time, that's when it's gonna end. So make sure you pick it up either right now, tomorrow, or the day following that. I am my own manager type shit. Yeah, except I'm a terrible manager. Because it's hard enough, like, you know why you are the editor of this channel, right, Jared? You know the reasons. I told you. My mind would go kaboom otherwise. I'm a very bad manager. I need to be managed. Which is a different thing entirely. I am such a menace. I need to be managed by someone else. And clearly that hasn't happened yet. I have no manager. I am my own manager, exactly as you said it. So that's why things are going the way they are, and why I do things the way I do, in such menacing ways, in such an affront to humanity. Yo, what's up? How's your Thanksgiving going? We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. But I did get to go to the city center to watch our city's Christmas tree light up. It's a pretty big tree. It was like, what, 30 meters tall, something like that? It's big. Yeah, we do not celebrate Thanksgiving here in Spain. That's purely a US thing. Maybe Latin America. I'm not exactly sure over there, but definitely not Europe. I just recreated 6 seconds of a Toki track, and it's not my most accurate recreation ever. I'm very happy. Let's go. No Thanksgiving in your country? No. But hey, we do have things that you guys do not have. So you take one when you give one, you know? I'm writing a song, stream lag maximum. Wow, you're writing a song and you're not playing Geometry Dash? Holy shit, bro. We don't in Latin America, okay. But in my country, Panama, some people do because we have strong ties with USA. I see.
What makes someone a criminal?
Paul, how powerful is your social battery? Coming right back from that event in the city straight to do Friday chill for 2 hours. Okay, so you might have seen my Instagram stories. I was surrounded by at least like 1 trillion people. Now, to be fair, I didn't really interact much with anyone, so my social battery was as much as how long can I stand? Right? If anything, it wasn't so much a test to my social battery as it was a test to the strength of my back. So, yeah. So, I had to hold not my phone. I took my camera. This camera you're watching the stream through, okay? This camera that's enabling you to see this absolute this okay, I was gonna say something really ugly, but no. I'm hot. It's a beauty of a human being. This handsome Squidward clone. What? What did he mean by this? So I was holding the camera like this, you know, hands in the air, and the camera is like almost like 500, 600 grams, right? So it's like 3 times the weight of my phone, and I'm just holding it up in the air for like just 5 minutes of that thing already sends like lightning strikes through my back. It's insane. And yeah, So, but I managed to make it, and now I'm sitting, and now I'm resting, which I'm grateful for. Festival versus music producer posture. Hey, I will get to test my festival posture next week. I'm going to Madrid to watch Spain Dubs' second anniversary, right? I'm watching a bunch of really cool people. Well, that's interesting because in America, we celebrate this holiday too before Christmas is coming, but for where I live in Panama, they do not celebrate Thanksgiving, except for my uncle. Well, yeah, we just generally don't really celebrate. Like, we know it's a thing, and we even have a Spanish name for it, right? So we call it La Acción de Gracias, right? So Thanksgiving, Acción de Gracias. So there is a Spanish name for it. It's just that we don't celebrate it. Because we do celebrate other things. Hey, you don't celebrate the what we call the Three Wise Men, Reyes Magos. Three Wise Men is a holiday after Christmas, January 6th. Okay, and it's some Christian thing again. It's about the three wise men who came to see the birth of Jesus Christ and like all that, right? And that's about it. So yeah, I didn't really use up my social battery as much as I did my back. But hey, it's getting better, so yeah. Straight into Friday chill for 2 hours. Also, it helped that I had a big ass bagel for dinner. Recharged my batteries like nothing else. That is a sigma amount of protocoins. What? What did he mean by this? Oh man. We can tell you touched grass today. Why? Because I'm wearing the tall neck thing. Is it even called tall neck? What is it called? You know? I moved Reyes Magos. Yo, my so my presents on that day were always more fire than my actual Christmas. Yeah, no, we like our real the real presents day is the Three Wise Men on January 6th for us, right? Like, it used to be that Christmas was like a small thing, like some small gift, and then the real thing came in the Three Wise Men, right? But obviously culture shifts. And Christmas has been making more waves recently and has been gaining way more traction. So now they're pretty much the same. But it does mean that within 2 weeks, parents have to gift their kids 2 things. Or like 2 sets of things, right? So they basically have to do the gifts thing twice in the span of 2 weeks, which is not stressful at all, right? So Gartic when we have 3 times as many people. Bring 30 people here and we can play Gartic or Jackbox. I finally managed to get Jackbox 7 back and that one's working. So yeah, we could play Quiplash 3 if need be. Ooh, interesting. In Panama, it was backwards. Big gifts on Christmas and smaller ones on Reyes Magos. I see. Alive or dead? What? Do you presume me? No, what? Do you think I'm a speaking husk or? Oh man. So never got you. What do you mean? Just do an everyone ping at Neoluminum. We'll instantly get 60 people watching here. You gotta appreciate the level of dedication, like how dedicated the Neoluminum fan base is, right? Like they all turn up to the events every single time. It's crazy. The dedication of those fans is commendable. He probably means Dead or Alive, the game. So, but that's Dead or Alive, not Alive or Dead. Paul, do you use audios? Not currently. So you remember when there were rumors that like SoundCloud was running out of funding a few years ago, and everyone tried to like panic switch to some other platforms, and so they came up with platforms like Orpheum and shit like that, and then came Audius, whatever, which was like a Web3 based thing. I've never been too much into Web3, but they have since they did mention that they recently changed how that works, and now you can cash out directly without having to like have a Web3 wallet. So they can do the conversion on their end, and you just get paid like regular royalties as if it was SoundCloud, basically. Like SoundCloud pays me royalties directly. So Audius just does the same, but first it has to do a conversion process where they convert from the Audius token thing to US dollars or euros or whatever that may be, right? So yeah, Orpheum. I bet you guys haven't heard. If you've heard of that name ever, you probably haven't heard of it in a long time. It was only popular for like the 3 days that that people were really worried that SoundCloud was just gonna cease to exist. SoundCloud did just barely escape bankruptcy. Yeah, they did. Why would they require you to have a Web3 wallet? Because they generated royalties through a crypto coin, right? Instead of generating real money, real currency, they came up with their own token, right? And yeah, you got paid in that token. So you had to have a Web3 wallet to get paid that way, and then through that wallet sell those tokens and convert it to your. So, yeah. Yeah, cryptocurrency is like digital banking, but more pointless and convoluted. So the thing about cryptocurrency is it's transparent, okay? The concept of the blockchain is everyone can see every transaction that's been made, right? It's all anonymized, but you can still see all of the transactions, even if they have no name attached to it, right? And on paper, that's a good thing because privacy, you know? But as good as it is for so it's so it's great in both the good and bad ways, right? It's good as in it's private, right? And it's fully anonymized. But it's also bad in that because it's transparent, it's thoroughly unregulated, right? So scams happen a lot through crypto. Because since it's so transparent and like private and anonymized, once you get scammed out of your money in crypto, it becomes very hard, if not impossible, to somehow retrieve that money, right? It becomes very hard to trace where that money goes after that. I appreciate the level discussion. Nah, I really lean more towards the side of Web3 is completely pointless, and and people just thought a PNG of a monkey was worth millions of dollars for some reason. But like, you're not buying the PNG, you're buying the token for the PNG, and it's like, what the fuck's the difference? There is still no difference. What prevents me from just screenshotting your goddamn monkey and then I have the picture of the monkey? Do I somehow feel inferior because I don't have the NFT token that represents the monkey, that points to the monkey? Like, what good is that? Just pro tip, just don't get scammed. It's not as easy as that, though, is it? It's not as easy as that because most people are just not trained to detect scams. And they're getting increasingly sophisticated to a point where, like, you just saw it happen live a few weeks ago to me in Feedback Hour. I got a message on my phone and they pretended to be my bank. And they said I had like a pending transaction for like 2,000 euros. And obviously, I knew that that wasn't true. But the fact that it arrived at the same contact that my real bank would send messages to, like, that's sophisticated, right? So, and I also know that my bank has personally told me that they will never send me any links to click through an SMS message, right? So, yeah. I was smart enough, so I was I managed to pick up on the fact that I probably shouldn't be clicking links in SMS messages from that or from anyone really. But your parents, they may be none the wiser. If I hadn't told my mom, had she received the same message, she probably would have. She probably would have clicked it. So after I picked up on that, in the couple minutes after that, you might remember that I asked you guys, like, please give me a couple minutes. So I sent a voice note to my mom telling her, like, hey, if this happens to you, do not click on this. All right? Even like in the middle of the stream, because it was important, right? Yeah, and that's cool, but it's as valuable as having the actual picture. Like, it's just data. Their argument was that the NFT is not the actual picture, it's just a piece of code that tells you that you're the owner of that picture. But like, that's like telling me that that's like telling me that the Louvre does not own the Mona Lisa because someone in like North Korea has written on a napkin that they own the Mona Lisa. The other day, I got a text being like, hey, you're fine, blah, blah, blah. But it was formatted very well, and they sent a government link, like a dead-ass government link. You know, they can hide malware links in legit links. Hyperlinks are a thing, okay? In Discord, people do this shit, okay? They are camouflaging, so, like, you type steam.com, and you can embed a hyperlink onto that string of text that says steam.com, and they can embed a malware link, a phishing link in there. So, yeah, really don't do that. Always hover over the text first, so you get the little pop-up that tells you what URL it actually is taking you into, okay? It's the same concept as money, actually. A banknote is just a piece of evidence that you are worth a certain amount. I think the NFT people just try to engineer how people see value too quickly. Yeah, but like at least money is physical. But at least banknotes are physical. So, I don't know. Damn, using hyperlinks is crazy. I didn't think of that. I was wondering how they managed to do the garment link. Yeah, they might have just gone the hyperlink route. And God, I really need to shape for tomorrow, huh? At least money is recognized by world governments. Yes. Well, it's like if you bought the single copy of an FLP, I guess. No, but the problem is that when you buy a single copy of my sample packs, you're not the sole owner of that sample pack. More people can buy a copy of the same sample pack. That means they're fungible. There's more than one unit. In fact, there are unlimited units, right? The thing with NFTs, the NFs stood for non-fungible, meaning that it was a limited amount, right? So that's like me going and doing a limited run and say, I'm only going to sell my next sample pack to 10 people. Then that would be non-fungible, right? But you would still have the thing where people would be able to just Control-C, Control-V, and send the sample pack on a zip to a friend, right? Why would it be fungible if neither non-fungus? Fuck this. I'm out. I will fungify you, Paul. Turns you into a fungus. Funny you say that. You know, Token Machine streams, how he has like a string of like little characters at the bottom. My avatar is a mushroom. I was completely random. I just so happened to get the mushroom the first time I joined, and that's the avatar that stuck. And now every single stream, I have a little mushroom with I am modus on top, just like going around. The problem with trying to make digital goods non-fungible is that the very thing that makes physical goods non-fungible is the actual conservation of Okay, physics student. Tell me more. AKA, anything in the world is limited. Man, yeah, but then if we apply that symbol to everything, that's like when people say everything we do is to perpetuate our existence, is to perpetuate our bloodline. Every single thing we do, like in our lives, even consciously or subconsciously, is in fact to reproduce. But guys, do you really think I'm making music with the subconscious like reason, with the subconscious goal of reproducing? I make music because it's fun, and because it's cool, and because it makes a difference in the world. You're not? No, in fact, sir, I do not. Me, when I throw a limiter on my master. If you don't know what a Redead is, it's basically a fictional zombie enemy from Ocarina of Time. I've only played the two modern Zeldas, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't really play any of the old ones. Sorry. No, not everything is reproduced. We also need to eat. So he can... Yeah, but just... there are things that clearly do not fit that description. Do you really think I do music just for with the subconscious goal in mind of reproducing? It's just I don't know. Fun is what makes things so important, and music is the definition of fun. It's the textbook definition of fun. Yes, bro. Preach. Say it louder for the people at the back. Crypto is a little silly, but somehow it's being used. Yes, it's being used by people who scam others and who get rich quick off of others, off the back of other people, because they know that the government won't really punish them for it because it's unregulated. Or like mostly unregulated. Then again, the whole FTX scandal happened, and maybe that brought a bit more awareness, but have you seen any like major crypto regulation happening? If anything, I've only seen deregulation, at least in the US. Modus's body requires him to release a song a year so he can... That has to be the most unhinged comment of the night. My launch pad, the buttons are a little bit spotty, like they take a little force to press. And I think it's because of the cold. Like, yeah. So now they work, right? But the stop button, for example, like it takes some force to press. And I didn't really touch anything, so might just be that because it's cold, the solder points, the solder contacts are harder to hit or something. I don't know. Why do you call yourself the hottest Spaniard then? Because I'm pretty. Like you've never seen before, brother. You see me in real life and it's just like that handsome Squidward meme. You know? You're so hot, you radiate hot. You give people acute radiation sickness. Hey Jared, let's put that on. Let's put that and the thing we did before. Let's put those two on the out of context compilation, shall we? If you don't make music to reproduce, why do people call you? Oh, I see. Damn, I don't know if I. Yes, meaning the person version of Chernobyl. Meaning means like going to Chernobyl for like three days straight and standing next to the elephant's foot. Exposed to radiation. Exposed to lethal levels of radiation. So why do people call you the hottest band? You can be hot and not want to reproduce. Just saying. You can be hot and not give a shit about the world. Or what the world says about you, rather. It's just, yeah. Sorry, I got too real in Fight Show. I'll go back to being funny, man. What? What? You don't get to what me like that, bro. W challenge idea. What is the W challenge idea? Oh, like go to the stand next to the elephant's foot. Please do not go to Chernobyl and stand next to the elephant's foot. You will, and this is true, die. Hey, speaking of fun, I doubt you can end up teaming up with Temanite to make a pirate-inspired dubstep song that is so fun and adventurous. We haven't talked about collabing on a song. But hey, if Sam is ever down for it, I'm in. I mean, he's already been to Feedback Hour. That's step one. Going to Ukraine is risky in general. Right now. It is. New distortion plugin just dropped. Laying an audio cable along the elephant's foot and letting the radiation do its thing. What? So you can record a slightly stronger 50 hertz hum? That might be insane, actually. Yes, acute radiation distortion plugin. The preset's name Chernobyl, but like actual Chernobyl. Hi Modus, Jigsaw here. I just made a laser sound with Vital. Cool. Show us some Feedback Hour tomorrow. Guys, but how do we explain the fact that every time you open Fat Filter and cut above 20 hertz, all females in a reason shut up, please, shut up. This conversation is over. Please do not entertain this further. Okay? Damn, these edibles ain't shit. How about this one? Huh? What do you gotta say about this now, huh? Borgar? What have you to say against this allegation, Xylokill? Huh? You haven't Borgared this hard in your life. Now that edible is the shit. Exactly. Borgar cannot be beaten. Where's Jovial? He's eating the Borgar. He's busy eating the Borgar. He voluntarily went back to the bread realm so he could have so he could fetch some bread for his Borgar. I was a professional fast food head chef for 2 years, thank you. Well, damn. We have a true Borgar connoisseur right here in chat. Modus, I will send you a screen recording of the laser sound. Please send it in the music production channel of my server. Okay, please don't like send me a DM unless it's like really necessary. Okay, because I prefer to keep DMs for the like really important stuff. Because like they generate a notification on my phone, and like anything that pops up in my phone, it is important because I've set it up that way, right? I tend not to get notifications for the low priority stuff because I check my check my emails every day anyway. So yeah. What about my DMs? Am I really important now? Depends. Have you a headline tour to present to me? If so, DM me. I'm gonna start DMing your reels. Stop, please. I'm going to ban you if you keep doing the shit. What could you possibly DM to Modus? Well, the physics exercises that my sister was gonna need, and then she didn't, because she chat GPT'd the fuck out of them. So, I really bothered Hexateron for no reason, so that's on me, sorry. The borgar looks like a McDonald's breakfast meal, except it's way better. Dude, even McDonald's themselves in Europe is so much better than US McDonald's, okay? I still wouldn't really, like, they're not my first option to go have lunch somewhere outside. Like, I wouldn't, my first choice would not be McDonald's, okay? But still, if you had to go to McDonald's, I would choose European McDonald's 1,000 times over the US, okay? But no, it was not a fast food thing. It was actually a proper restaurant. Well, it's kind of like a hybrid. It was so they market themselves as like a proper restaurant slash like pre-made food hybrid. So it's like it has some features of fast food restaurants, as in they have like menus that you can pick and choose. They have like the little screens that you can walk up to them and you can order stuff. But you sit down in them and it feels like a proper restaurant. It's a bit weird, right? See, I just got sent something important that I had to read, and then I read it and I swept it away. So yeah. Can I DM you NYP memes? No. Those go in the memes channel on my server, please. One and online memes are gold standard, trust me, Paul. It'll be like HelloFresh. Sorry, I haven't had any experience with HelloFresh. I've only heard the sponsors, hey, this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. But that's about as much experience as I have with HelloFresh. Hearing the name in YouTube sponsors. Would you guys be okay if at some point Modus videos were sponsored? Like, what kind of sponsors would you guys be okay with? Definitely not honey. Definitely not. But like, say Kilohearts comes around and they sponsor a video. Ableton. Ah, yes. Great choice. NordVPN. But Brave has Tor. So I don't really need NordVPN. Can I DM you white modus.png and white modus.mp3? No. No need to. I can make my own. You see, I'm a sound designer. I can make anything I want. Raid Shadow Legends. You know, they don't actually have to reach out to you. They just have like a page. I believe it was in Stream Elements. So when I was setting up the stream alerts for for my first few streams on Twitch, I ended up going for Streamlabs, but then there was the option to go for Stream Elements. And Stream Elements had a sponsorships tab where you could pick and choose sponsorships, like pre-made sponsorships, right? So you didn't, so they didn't have to reach out to you. You could just like, here's our terms. If you're okay, you can just start doing it, and we'll pay you a cut, right? Raid Shadow Legends was part of that, and they required you, I believe, to stream at least 2 hours of gameplay of Raid Shadow Legends a week. And during those 2 hours, your stream had to have Raid Shadow Legends branding. So like the assets, like lower thirds, and like alert styles for Raid Shadow Legends. Top 10 thumbnails. I'm actually gonna have a look at that again. And see if it's still a thing. Stream Elements. Sponsorship eligibility. So if I were to sign in to Stream Elements, I don't even know what email I signed up with back in the day. I am Modus. Maybe it's... Oh, I think this is it. Okay. Requests, activities. No, I don't think this is it. Stream Elements. The ultimate streamer platform. Blah, blah, blah. Sign in with Twitch. Cool. Stream Elements dashboard. So I have an account from like when I first signed in way back in the day. Sponsorships. Here. Sponsorships. We don't have any sponsorships available for you right now. Okay, so the Raid Shadow Legends thing is gone. But their website has a little thing here. Okay, here. So, if you want to get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, right, you need to fall into one of 3 partnership levels. Depending on how many videos or streams per week playing the game you have, the number of channel subscribers you have, and the number of views per week. I certainly didn't fit the criteria for any of these 3, so I don't really, you know. And I remember the pay just wasn't great. Hello? Benefits. Take a look. I mean, yeah, but they're not clickable. They're just like text. Oh, weekly rewards. Audience giveaways. Blah, 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 blah. Exclusive dev information. Ah, really useful. Where's the money? So, yeah. Take capitalism and the capital M to the next level. So I make the M in Modus super capital, venture capital. Oh, we were supposed to play Survey Scramble this stream. Do we have people to play Survey Scramble? Do we even have, like, I have Jackbox 7 now ready. And unlike last week, you know, wow, just being outside has really stimulated my nose. I can widen myself by eating, thank you. Yeah, and I just ate like a giant bagel, so don't judge. Get sponsored by Gavin Z Beats. Name rings a bell. I feel like I should know who he is, but I don't. So feel free to refresh my mind. Sponsor Modus and take money from it. Sponsor Modus with a capital M. Next Friday, chill, is the required 2 hours of gameplay. Ah, yes. Hello guys, welcome to Friday Chill, and today we are rating... I don't know the game. And today we are rating this like level 3 Nexus. And... whatever. Just like League of Legends jargon or something. Paul being my uncle from Argentina. ¿Qué dice este boludo? Have you played Arc Raiders? No, but I've seen people play it, and people have been saying it's one of the most fun multiplayers they've played recently, like way more fun than the latest Call of Duty. Like Arc Raiders is just so much better at that. Then again, I don't really play much multiplayer games lately. I've mostly been playing like... So, because I have less and less time to play games nowadays, because I'm like fully focused on getting music done right now. Because of that, the kind of games I play has shifted a little bit. Right now, I tend to go for games that like... So, with the exception of Legends ZA, which is like a single player like story game, okay? And well, it's Pokemon. I've been leaning more towards games that you can just pick up for like 30 minutes and put down and then go back next day. Like more arcadey experiences that you can just pick up and play anytime. Like Sonic Racing Crossworlds, you know? I keep saying Sonic Racing Crossworlds, but it's true. It's just, I've been like... You know, it's there. Why does my Switch look like a Switch 2? Why does the menu of my Switch look like the Switch 2? Well, because it's not legit. Because it's modded. And it's modded, so I pretty much have to have it on airplane mode all the time. But so I can actually go online with this, just not on the eShop or like any of Nintendo's services, because they would ban the shit out of my account, right? So I can go online with some custom DNS that blocks the Nintendo telemetry stuff. So I can go into the modded YouTube app and watch videos that way. I can download Homebrew, right? I can download like cheats, right? So say I need an FPS code, right, to improve frame rate in this game, right? Yes, telemetry. Nintendo banned this man. What if you do it accidentally once? You're pretty much guaranteed a ban. Just within seconds, you are guaranteed to get pretty much console banned, right? You're playing a risky game that you really aren't. Once you mod it, like adding the DNS, so you can either add a custom DNS or you can install this patch called Incognito, which is like a low-level patch thing that basically blocks the entirety of the telemetry from Nintendo all throughout your console. So you can go online with any DNS server you want, right? And pretty much not worry at all, right? So here, I can just go online right now, even when I'm playing a game. Here, flight mode off, okay? And just, well, here it might be a little bit harder because I'm very far away from the router. So my laptop has cable, right? My laptop has Ethernet, but as you can see, my Switch is struggling. So maybe if I enable hotspot here on my computer, hopefully my stream doesn't die. Hi, Opal. I am explaining why modding your Switch is mostly safe. In the meantime, while the hotspot wakes up, I will show you Borgar. Okay. I think it wants to connect, but first I gotta change the access point that it's connecting to. Searching for networks. There you go. Okay, now it's connected. Let's go. Borgar. Yes, indeed. Okay, so here it is. It's hooked up. And there you go. So the only thing you can't do is hit that. You can't go into the eShop. If you do it, you'll either get banned or get an error code if you have incognito, because it can't load the website because it's blocked. It's kind of like the Windows hosts file. Like all the Nintendo.com servers are in that host file. Well, Incognito does basically the same, but on the Switch, right? So you can go online on certain things, not on games, that's for sure. But you can load up. I'm just gonna leave Sonic Racing Crossroads. It's just amazing game, dude. Just great game. And yes, I main Blaze. Okay, I play Blaze in Crossroads. Soundtrack bangs, by the way. Launchpad reflection with them glasses. I would do the like glowing glasses meme thing if I could. Wait. Sorry, it's not it's not very loud. Yes, that Opal, that exactly. That exact thing. Okay, so you very obviously can't go online with games. Well, you can go into a modded version of the YouTube app. So here, I've got YouTube there. See? Yes, I've got Silksong. I haven't started it. Matter of fact, I haven't even started the original Hollow Knight. I just got both of them there. They're waiting. Okay. I can hardly play games these days. So it's probably gonna be a very long time till I get to you know. Okay, so I'm just loading up YouTube here. And as you can see, you can just load up YouTube and I'm logged in. And I'm gonna pick my account here. And it just loads. And there you go. You can watch YouTube. The only thing is that you have ads. Because as luck would have it, the Switch has no ad blocker. So really the only way to block ads on Switch would be like a pie hole. Right? But yeah. You can just watch videos on the thing. You can scroll and do the thing.
Batteries die, you just pop the batteries out and replace them, and it would last 1 to 2 months.
So yeah, it works. You can also download Homebrew. You can download firmware updates from the Homebrew server, not from the official Nintendo server, right? But yeah, you can do quite a lot of stuff. You can even search Google if you want. So you guys know that the Switch has like a hidden browser, like 3DS style, but it's more hidden. Well, here
In 2025, what makes someone a
in
criminal?
2025, modding Switch and not letting Nintendo find out makes you a criminal. I mean, no. Because I bought the whole Switch, let me use the whole Switch. Modding your Switch is fully legal, by the way. Just homebrewing your Switch is 100% legal. Okay? I'm just saying, there is nothing illegal to modding your console. Downloading pirated games is a different story. Okay? But modding your Switch for homebrew and custom themes like this Switch 2 looking theme and getting a custom profile picture, yes, you can do that. You can have custom profile pictures. There is nothing wrong with this as long as you don't go online. Okay? This is 100% legal. Okay? So just, it's fair game. Okay? What was I gonna say? Oh, the browser thing. It turns out you can access. There is a homebrew to basically access the browser. There you go. And just access the browser. I can just pick. Oh yeah, because I have to load it on the app mode. So there are two ways to load up the homebrew menu. You can load it through the album. So when you hit the album, instead of loading the album, it actually loads in the homebrew menu. You see that? And then if you want to actually load up the album, you have to hold R as it's opening, right? So you hold R and then you open it. Well, my R button it is a little bit finicky, but here, I can hold it. And the album opens. There you go. So yeah. But there's also another way to open the homebrew channel, and that's to hold R while you're launching a game, right? You hold R when you're launching a game, and this way the homebrew menu has more RAM to work with, so you can run more homebrew. So you can see you no longer get the applet mode text there. So now it's like full version of the homebrew menu, right? And then you can just go on the browser. I'm just gonna go like type in something fun like DuckDuckGo, DuckDuckGo.com, .codge, and then it just watch it crash and burn and piss and fart, and DuckDuckGo doesn't seem to load, but Google works. So yeah, and on the Switch, Google has none of the AI shit. On the Switch, Google is still good. You know, the more you know. And then when you're done, you just put it back on flight mode, and that's it. And you can go back to playing games. So yeah, crash and burn, phase one. Crash and burn. I can't do the thing. Holy shit! I probably shouldn't try that if I'm not trained. That's a very black and white statement, but I agree with the sentiment. Gaben said it first. Piracy is a service problem. And the stream did not die. Huh. Interesting. Secrets revealed live. Something fun like DuckDuckGo. Yeah, just because Google is just not fun. Borgar? Guys, say burger in chat. Wrong spelling only. There you go. Yo, what browser do you use? I use Nintendo Switch. Ah, yes. Dude, I once tried... This is a bit of a running joke on the Toki stream. So, for his feedback stream, Toki Machine runs a custom website called tokimachine.live. Right? So here you can just go ahead and you can submit your tunes, right? So right now they're closed because he's not streaming and he's not streaming feedback, right? But yeah, he has a website here and you can just submit your stuff, right? And just making sure that I'm not doxing myself here. I am not. So he mentioned that that tokimachine.live worked in every browser with like every device, right? And then we mentioned like very fringe devices that it could potentially work in, like a Nintendo DS and shit like that. So the DS is probably out of reach, but I did try it on my new 3DS, on my black new 3DS, and unfortunately the site does load. But the part where you have to authenticate with Twitch doesn't work, right? Try it on Smart Fridge. Did not work. Shame. So the site itself did work. It's just that the part where it had to authenticate with Twitch did not. So yeah, and the site loaded on like text mode only. So it's just like a blank page with black text. That was all there was to it. Also, I recently themed my 3DS with a custom Panzer Dragoon Saga theme. It looks insane. Just with this thing. And it's got the Panzer Dragoon Saga soundtrack as well. You can hear that, right? And when you move around with the cursor, it has the laser sound from the dragon. It's great. It's insane. It's just every time I turn it on, instant Panzer Dragoon Saga vibes. And that wallpaper is just so sick with Azul an edge in there. You know, it's insane. It's great. Dude, that is so cool. I know, it's so sick. If only I could run Panzer Dragoon Saga on this thing. This would be like the ultimate experience. Like, it's already really good that I can emulate Saturn here. I can play Panzer Dragoon. I can play Knights. I can play Saga here. Okay, so this is already pretty good. But like being able to play on an even smaller thing would be huge. Playing like the 4 discs of Panzer Dragoon Saga, I would have had so many more playthroughs of that game if I were just able to play it here. Just like, it's the perfect form factor to play Saga in. It's just great. But unfortunately, it doesn't really have enough power, or the Saturn emulator for this thing just isn't very developed. So yeah. It is what it is. But the Switch can do it. The Switch does have... So, normally, the Switch... The situation with Saturn emulation and the Switch is a bit weird, because normally you would have to load up... So, the Switch is just like an underclocked NVIDIA Shield from like 2013. It has the same CPU. It has like an NVIDIA like... X1 Tegra CPU in here. It's the same CPU as the NVIDIA Shield. That means this thing can run Android, and people have been able to boot Android from a Switch. And right now, there's like a very easy method to sideload Android onto your Switch to play more emulators, right? So normally, you would have to boot Android from your Switch to be able to play Saturn, but recently, well, not recently, because that was like 2 or 3 years ago, they came up with this game called Cotton Guardian Force Saturn Tribute. This thing is basically, well, they marketed it as like a remaster, like, right, like remaster of Saturn games, called, well, they were called Cotton, and it's like it's like a shoot 'em up. Right? So it's like an shoot 'em up arcade thing, but it wasn't a remaster. It was just a Saturn. They built a Saturn emulator that was just straight up running the original game. And people found out that you can actually mod the game files to inject almost any game. So when I boot up into Cotton Guardian Force Saturn Tribute, right? I'm just gonna let it boot, okay? NVIDIA 5090. Ah, yes. So it boots, and I get the whole thing, and I get the menu, okay? So with the menu, I can choose Cotton 2, Cotton Boomerang, or Guardian Force, which is like a different game. But each of these is now assigned to a different game that I picked. The first one is Panzer Dragoon Zwei. The second is Knights, and this one is Baku Baku Animal, like World Zookeeper Context. It's some puzzle game, okay? So I'm gonna load up Panzer Dragoon here, or Cotton 2, and you can just see that after it boots up, and it shows you the control screen for Cotton 2, it actually just boots up Panzer Dragoon. It's great. It's insane. And you know the best thing? You can even mod the... normally, it runs on like 4x3, so you get these like pillar boxes, right? You can also modify the game files to make it run on widescreen. So you get full widescreen Panzer Dragoon, which is just... It's great. On your Switch. It's insane. And because Panzer Dragoon has native widescreen support, I can play native widescreen Panzer Dragoon on my Switch, on the go, and it's flawless. Look. It runs flawless. There it is. It's just, yeah, and it works. So, yeah, it's insane. full widescreen speedrun. I wouldn't use this for a speedrun. I would use the real hardware, because emulation has its own category. So there's the any percent category, and then there's the any percent on emulator category, because emulators have different load times because they're not like cycle to cycle compatible. They're not like the NES emulators where they're like fully hardware accurate. Sorry, to the console, like Saturn emulation is a little bit less good. So yeah, so it works, but it's not like cycle to cycle accurate, you know. Why can't we have that for the Switch? We can. Actually, we do. It's just that the theme that I gave it happens to not be as flashy. I just gave it like the basic Switch 2 theme, but this is a custom theme. This is not the original theme that the Switch comes with. You can actually download themes for this thing as well. Like that's always one of the first things that they do when they mod the Switch. It's just they give it like custom themes. What laptop do you have? How much was it? What specs? I might be getting a new one soon. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like the price at least, because it's pretty high. I have a 2023 Legion Pro 7i from Lenovo. Specs, I bought it with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of NVMe. So it has 2 drive bays, and there was only one of them filled up with 1 drive. I then put in a second NVMe drive that I bought myself, and then I switched out the 16 gigs that it came with for 64, because it was cheaper for me to buy the 16 gigs built in than to buy it with the built-in 64 gigs. So it was cheaper for me to buy the 64 gig sodium sticks separately than it was to get them through the manufacturer, right? So I put 64 gigs of RAM on this thing. I have 2 terabytes of internal NVMe. It's a 4090. It's an i9 13900 HX, I think. And the price I paid for this thing without the upgrades was like 3,300 euros. So 3,300. And then with the upgrades, it was more like 3,500, something like that. So yeah, it's not cheap for sure. But I bought this thing to essentially just be set for the next like decade. I don't intend to switch this thing out unless I get like a stellar deal on something. So if I get like a really sick deal where I can switch to like a 5090 Ryzen 9 laptop for 2,000 euros. I know that's never going to happen, but in case it does, then yes, I might just sell this one. I've also recently redone the liquid metal on the thing. So I recently reapplied the liquid metal on the CPU. That wasn't nerve-wracking or anything. It was absolutely terrifying. I would avoid doing it if it wasn't absolutely necessary, but I had to because the temps were pretty bad. And I knew I could get better liquid metal than the manufacturer anyway. So I got Conductonaut for this thing, right? And that's what's applied to the CPU. And then the GPU has regular paste. I use Cryonaut for that one. So that's obviously like better metal than the manufacturer can ever like give it. So I only really had to do it once, and the temps have indeed improved. Not as much, like the change wasn't as dramatic as when I first changed my old this here laptop, my 2021 Legion 5. When I switched that to Cryonaut, the difference was staggering. It was like 30 degrees difference. It was insane. And it still goes sub 30 degrees on idle. It is crazy. But not so much this. This is an i9 after all. It is hot city. It is heat city down there, but I managed to get it down with a bit of undervolting and the Conductonaut, I managed to get it under control, but I wouldn't do it more than once. I wouldn't do it if it's not absolutely necessary, because liquid metal does conduct electricity, unlike regular thermal paste, which is isolating, right? It's terrifying because you spill one drop on any other component and you can kill it. So it's terrifying to do it, but hey, I did it once and I don't think I'm gonna need to do it more in the near to mid future. Okay. What's the difference between conductonaut and cryonaut? So conductonaut is liquid metal, cryonaut is regular thermal paste. Speaking of, I should probably already repaste my machine. It's with a K. Spell police! Spell police! Wee woo! So is this like hot liquid metal or like mercury? So it's metal that stays liquid until it reaches like 80 Celsius. That's when it like solidifies and turns into a solid. So it works best under high temperatures. So it works best when it has to cool down really hot CPUs, right? But it doesn't work as well when idle. So you get slightly higher temperatures when idle. So my laptop usually idles at like 45 to 50 Celsius, which for a regular computer would be pretty bad. Like if your computer is doing 45 to 50 at idle, something is wrong with your thermal paste. But not with this, because it's liquid metal. But then once it goes high, it starts to work a little better, right? So do you put lava on your CPU or is it liquid already? And then thermal paste. So if I were to put regular thermal paste on the CPU on this thing, it would do better temps on idle, but then as soon as it heated up, it would heat up really fast, like with the lightest load. It would heat up really fast and it wouldn't be able to evacuate, so it would just probably overheat, right, with the lightest load. That's why this needs liquid metal on the CPU. Okay, that's not how melting works, but it's not, but like it's, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's a solid first and then it turns liquid. I don't know, but like it was liquid at room temperature when I applied it. Like it was just drops of liquid, you know, and so unlike with thermal paste where you just like you have to spread it, with liquid metal it's just the tiniest drop. You drop a tiny ball of liquid metal on the center of the CPU and you don't spread it. You just you mount the heat spreader back onto the computer and it just makes pressure and that like spreads itself because it's liquid, right? And it has like so if you've ever taken apart a CPU with liquid metal, you will see that the socket is surrounded by this like foam. So the liquid metal, if it ever were to like spill out of the CPU, it would get absorbed by the foam before it reaches other components. So it's like a safety mechanism to put the like foam around the CPU to protect the rest of the computer if the metal were to spill somewhere, right? So that's what that's what keeps your liquid metal laptop alive when you like tilt it, right? When you put it upside down to clean it up, you know, and stuff like that. So with this laptop, it is perfectly safe to just like rotate it. So like just like any other laptop, you can just you can just move it around. Nothing will happen. With the browser and no, I mean with absolutely nothing. Just the computer is at like CPU 0%, doing nothing. Nothing, like no windows open. Okay, that's what I meant, like fully idle. This thing, that the idle temperatures are like sub 30. Like right now with the current room temperature, it goes down to like 28, 27 Celsius. So like literally half of this. With absolutely nothing, it should be 35. So yeah, this is my golden standard for temperatures. My old Legion 5. The temperatures on this thing are much better, but that is because Ryzen does have better idle management. So it uses less power at idle. My CPU idles at around 10 to 15 watts. This thing can idle at like 3, right? Bro, what the fuck? I want to get 26. Yeah, it's crazy. Just get Cryonaut. Just get Cryonaut. So the laptop that I'm currently using right now to stream this thing, the Astral Realm mirror. Okay, so here you have the interface, the monitor, and the laptop just below. This thing is a 2023 Legion Lenovo Legion Pro 7i. If you're gonna buy a Legion 7i, buy this year's version, not the 2023 version. Okay, it probably has better thermals anyway, because like 13th gen Intel is notoriously known for they drove it too hard. Like, just for context, out of the box, the CPU on this laptop can reach 190 watts. Intel decided that the top turbo power TDP for a laptop CPU in a 16-inch chassis, so that's like this thick, 190 watts. Like desktop levels of power. That's just not possible. It just isn't. So I have it undervolted, and I have a TDP cap on it. It can only go up to 120 watts, which the performance deficit is negligible. So when you reach like 110 watts, from there it's diminishing returns, right? So going from 120 to 190, you only lose like 3%, like 3 to 4%, right? That helps with temperatures, mostly. And because it helps with temperatures, it will keep my laptop working for longer. It will not fry itself to death, right? It will die of age, not of overheating. NASA laptop. It really isn't. It's just a very expensive laptop. I think I'll do that this weekend when I'm cleaning up my desk. Yes, cleaning up your desk and casually repasting. Exactly, bro. Just PC Master Race do be like that. Mine idles at 30, barely 29. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like decent. The hand of God. The best back scratcher in the world. That does make me think. Should I also see if I can apply Cryonaut to my GPU? If it's like a desktop GPU, I wouldn't. I would not. You're set. You're good. If it's a laptop GPU, when you take out the heat spreader, you'll see that, like, in most cases, the same heat spreader will be cooling both the CPU and the GPU. So when you take it off, you will see both the CPU and the GPU exposed. So you can just repaste, like, both, because might as well, right? Because it's already there in front of you, right? But if it's like a desktop GPU, not much need to do it unless it's like really overheating. So if it's like if the GPU chip goes like past 85 to 90 degrees, then yeah, I might need repasting. But apart from that, yeah, my CPU is running at ADC right now. But like, what are you doing? Are you like just doing nothing? Then yeah, you might need to repaste, bro. How many gigahertz does the CPU get to? Out of the box, it will turbo up to 5.4 gigahertz, which is too much. Because as soon as it does it, within like 3 seconds, it immediately throttles back down. And I found out that it actually performs better if I downclock it to like 4.7, 4.8, because it can stay at that higher speed for longer before throttling, right? So it's better for it to sustain 4.7 gigahertz than to go then to go all the way up to like past 5 for like 3 seconds and then immediately throttle back down to like 2 gigahertz, right? So yeah, I am doing some fine tuning on this. I have throttle stop like as a, so whenever I turn on my computer, I have a background service for throttle stop turned on, and that like on boot every time it applies the undervolt and the down clock and the like power profiles and everything. i9 gets hot out of the box. Yeah, they do. You just have to fine tune them. I would have bought the AMD version of this laptop if it was available at the time that I bought it. Remember that I bought this laptop for the sole reason that I needed the faster render times for New Year Protocol 9, because otherwise I wouldn't have made the deadline for the animation video. Right? So I was working on that computer on NYP9 and I managed to finish the song in there. But the animation video was taking too long to render the frames in like Cinema 4D. I needed a faster computer, and I was already starting to struggle with my FL Studio projects on that thing, right? So I just needed a faster computer anyway, and at the time I was working full time, so I was like, well, just might as well. Like I'm earning a pretty decent salary. Let's just go for it. And I bought the most balls to the walls thing I could. I went all out, and then I went, well, okay, if I spend a little more now, that means that I'll be set for potentially more years down the line. So so instead of buying like 4 1,000 euro laptops, I buy one 3,000 euro laptop, and I'll be set for just as long. So in the long term, assuming the laptop survives, assuming the laptop lives long enough to tell the tale, it pays off, right? So yeah, and I was going to buy the AMD version. Thanks to the pet. I was about to buy the AMD version of it, but it turns out that the CPU that I wanted to be in this laptop was taken up by ASUS as an exclusivity deal for their laptop. So that specific, okay, later, that specific CPU was only available in an ASUS laptop, and they had an exclusivity deal with that CPU until like October, November, and by that time it was already too late. So this was like May 2023, April, May, June 2023, right? So I was like, I need to get this now because otherwise I'm not gonna make it. So I decided to buy the Intel version, and yes, it runs harder, but with some fine tuning, you can get it to work pretty well. Let's hope it survives. Oh, it will. Under my watch, it will. If I hadn't changed anything about this laptop, it would probably already be fried. I am the equalizer. I brought this thing under control. So you wanted to get Ryzen but couldn't. Yes, exactly. Because I had to get the new laptop now. Because otherwise I wouldn't have made the deadline for NYP9. So I will say, this laptop is really fast. Okay, once you get it under control, unless I'm streaming, I can play pretty much every project of mine without issue. When I'm streaming, there is a bit of a deficit because, well, like a third of the CPU power is going to the stream, right? So, yeah. Bro is broke you. What? What did he mean by this? Laptops have mobile versions of the desktop CPU. Yes. And when you buy a laptop, you buy it with that in mind. So you're fully aware of that. It's not like you're getting ripped off. Like, I knew exactly what I was buying into. I was buying into, I get a laptop and I have the ability to both have a built-in like lower screen. So I have the big ass monitor here, and then below this I have another screen, and then I have the ability to take this somewhere else. So yes, it's not very portable, okay? But like say I take a vacation somewhere or I need to go outside somewhere for like a week on a hotel. I can just bring my laptop there and I can pretty much continue work just as I would in my studio, right? To blow your mind, the GPU is also not the same version as desktop. Yes. Wow, technology. It's almost as if you can't fit the desktop GPU inside of a chassis this big. Oh, no way, bro. So, the GPU on this thing is named RTX 4090 laptop. Okay, the performance is comparable to like a desktop 4070 Ti, which is already really good. Which is still really good. Like, I haven't been able to max out. So I haven't been able to overwhelm the GPU in games yet. Right? Unless the game is like supremely poorly optimized. Which there seems to be an increasing amount of. But but for the most part, assuming the game is properly optimized, it runs at the resolution of my monitor, which is like 3840 by 1080, right? 120 hertz. I can get 120 on most anything, right? God can try to stop me putting my 4070 into my framework 12. I'll shove it in there. You can with an eGPU enclosure and Thunderbolt, assuming you have Thunderbolt. You can plug a 4090 into a Raspberry Pi with enough you don't even need engineering, just need a USB-C port with Thunderbolt enabled. Do you play AAA games? I do not play AAA games. I feel like they have been getting increasingly boring, right? The latest game, I guess you could say, AAA game that I've played is Legends ZA, and that was here on the Switch. So, yeah. I don't even play much in my computer anymore. Like, I use like 95% of the time I use this computer is spent on either FL or DaVinci Resolve or Cinema 4D. This computer is the studio computer. It's not a gaming battle station by any stretch of the imagination. But I still needed the GPU for DaVinci Resolve. Because, dude, this thing renders DaVinci Resolve at frames per second and not seconds per frame. This thing did seconds per frame on some VFX composites with DaVinci Resolve, and it didn't have enough VRAM. So as soon as I had like 5 or 6 heavy VFX layers of compositing in Fusion inside Resolve, the program would just crash and it would just disappear without warning, and the program would just like suddenly close because it ran out of VRAM. With this, I don't have that problem as much. I still have that happen, but like it's like 5% of the time when compared to this, right? Not nearly as often. I don't run into the 16 it's 16 gigabytes of VRAM that I have in this, and this had 6. So this, I was able to fill up pretty quickly. This needs a little bit more work. And even then, by the time you get to that point, I'll just like start rendering, like start bouncing. So what you would consider bouncing a track on a DAW, in DaVinci Resolve, that's called render in place, right? You are basically like freezing that track and you're just rendering it as a video file. So you just bake it in, right? And you don't have that like VFX overhead anymore because now it's just playing a video, right? But with the screen you have, Forza Horizon 5 would feel so good. I prefer driving the real thing. I prefer driving my very real car. But I do agree that it would be nice to have I would definitely like to have a sim racing setup. Like this is like the perfect setup to like install some pedals here at the bottom and like a steering wheel here, and just it's the perfect setup. right? But money and priorities. Modus Stream Simulator. I mean, I would honestly be down to stream sim racing, but I just don't have the money, nor that is a priority, right? So even if I had the money, I would probably spend it on paying real human paying real human vocalists for post NYP songs, like I'm doing right now. Those of you who are members of my channel and are in the exclusive members only Discord text channel of my server, if you're in there, you already know I've locked in a couple vocalists for some post NYP songs. Can't believe GTA got delayed again. Chill the fuck out. There's so much to do before GTA comes out. I don't even think about it. It's just... There is so much you can do with your life before GTA 6 comes out. Just like occupy your mind, okay? Just set your mind to something else and let them cook. What I don't like is that nowadays, with the state of the video game industry, video games are being announced before they even reach like the alpha concept stage. There are games that like get announced now for like 2028 or something. It's like, but why? Why do you announce it now? You'll have me waiting 3 years, and by the time it's out, the hype will have probably died out. But I guess it's because they had to meet some investors' quota or some shit like that, you know? But yeah. Do you guys remember PewDiePie YouTuber Simulator? I do not. You can say that about anything, though. Like, imagine if your marriage gets delayed and someone tells you there's so much you can do before you marry that you shouldn't think about. But it's not the same. It's not the same committing your life to another person and waiting for a video game. Yes, granted, it's probably the biggest video game in history, but it's still a video game. Okay? Tell that to Delta Room fans. They have the... Wow, that was savage. The point was, you can say it about anything, so it's not a true... It's not a true statement. Paul! Paul! Members assemble. Members! Assemble. Yes, I just said members. I gotta head out. I need borgar moment before I leave. Alright, enjoy borgar. Here it is. Borgar for you. And a scrolling borgar at that. Enjoy your scrolling borgar. Bye, Deanne. Have a good one. I was listening to Asura shout out yesterday, and man, a Modus and Asura collab would be so good. A Modus and insert artist here would be a really cool collab, right? I currently have a collab going on. I haven't shown you. I haven't shown any of this. I haven't worked on it on stream because it's too special. I'm working with someone who is not from the EDM sphere, so spend as much time as you'd like in chat guessing who it is. You won't, because you don't know this guy. But he is such a cool collab. He makes for such a cool collab and such a special collab that I had to like take it off camera. Now, granted, I have been working on it steadily, just not as often as I would like, because I have post NYP as well. So that's what most of my time has been going, right? So I have been able to dedicate time to this. Yeah, like a little time each week, just not as long as I would have wanted. But it is getting steady progress, and now it's like the song is 50% done and 50-60% done. Both drops are done. Right now, I just have to get to the off drops. Which country is he from? US. Ariana Grande, 100%. No, but When will you collab with with dodging and fucking from bicycles? I remember. I understood that reference. from dicicles. Modus and modus. Holy shit, you got me, no way. So yeah, spend as much time as you would like in chat, you're not going to guess. Just he's not on your radar. Okay? And the way we got connected was through almost like sheer coincidence, because a fan of both me and this guy went to the comment section on one of his YouTube shorts, and he went, "Hey, you should like listen to this guy Modus. He makes like cool cinematic stuff." And then he checked me out, and he appears to really like what I do, so he reached out, and we had a Zoom call and everything, and we went, "Yeah, let's work on something together." And yeah, you guys will not believe this, but I'll have to shut up about it. I can't. It's too good. You'll have to wait till after the first batch of post NYP. Weird Al yes, Weird Al Yankovic, I guess in NYP says. What do you mean? Haywire? No, it's not Haywire. Like I said, he's not from the EDM sphere. You guys wouldn't know him. There's no chance you guys know him. But you will. Okay, but you will. Zoom call? Zoom reference? I don't have enough energy in my body right now to like stand up and twist the lens to zoom in. No, it's not Will Smith. But wouldn't that be a great collab? Hey, yo, it's rewind time. Wouldn't that be an interesting collab? We could call our track The Slap. And then we could say, and then people could go in the comments and say, the song slaps. That's hot. That's hot. Zanz Himmer. How? No, it's not Hans Zimmer. Okay. As much as I would love that, no, that's a bit outside of. That's a bit out of my. That's a bit outside of my realm of competence. Well, no, like, not really. I could potentially like bring to the table. It's just that Hans Zimmer is Hans Zimmer. The Matrix guy. If only Don Davis were still making music. I don't think he does. I think he retired a while back. He did the soundtrack for WALL-E, I think. So after The Matrix, he did some stuff for WALL-E, I think. But I might be tripping. WALL-E team Don Davis. He doesn't show up. Then I must be tripping. I must be tripping, but he did something else after this. So he did Matrix, and then he did what else? Movies. Okay, so he did The Matrix, House on Haunted Hill, Jurassic Park 3. Okay, that's probably the one I'm thinking of. I'm probably thinking about Jurassic Park. I'm not sure. Okay, I think like WALL-E might have been. Who am I thinking of? Thomas Newman. Okay, no, then no, that's not it. Then what brought me? What kind of Mandela effect could have possibly led me to believe that Don Davis was somehow involved in the music of Wall-E. That's strange. But no, I was probably thinking of Jurassic Park 3. Wait. Didn't this viewer mention here on stream that this other dude liked your music? Who? I vaguely remember this situation. Possibly. But yeah, if only Don Davis were like still active. Well, here on Wikipedia it says that he's still active, but he hasn't participated in movies since like 2006 with the Marine. Oh, it's the John Cena movie. Okay. Or the server. It might have been the YouTube comments. Imagine if it's John Legend. I'm trying to find it because I remember this too. Well, now now I'm sending you guys on a quest, huh? Now I'm sending you guys on a tangent to find this guy. The call out will be a dubstep release. No. And I'll leave it at that. It's EDM. It's not dubstep. Yeah. It's EDM. It's not 140, 150, okay? It's not dubstep. But it's EDM. Hey, Paul, did you know that you just read this message? Is it Eminem? Wow. You think so highly of me? Coming back for Jazz Metal Funk 2, I see. It does not involve jazz. But I will say Jazz Metal Funk 2 would be a slapper. I actually have an ID. This is funny. I was once rendering some visuals for NYP10, and it was this like really long render, and it was gonna take like 12-13 hours to render like 20-30 seconds of footage because I used a CPU renderer. Okay, don't judge. So it was gonna be this really long render process, and the computer was absolutely pegged, right, while it was rendering. So it was basically useless. I couldn't really open a file while it was rendering. It was just not gonna happen. I could like watch videos. I could browse the internet, but I did try opening up a file, and it worked horribly. It popped like crazy every single time. But I managed to start up a like drum step neuro funky ID in like 170 BPM that I named the FLP. I named it Jazz Metal Funk Spiritual Successor. So once I get done with Post NYP and this special collab and Mega Nova, I'll probably get to that. I'll probably see if I can make Jazz Metal Funk 2. Now, I won't have the same people that I collabed with because I'm no longer in touch with them. But so if Jazz Metal Funk 2 happens, it will be like a solo track. What is Post NYP? Knows? I won't tell you. All right, I'll set the bar low. Is it Lil Dicky? It is not Lil Dicky. Did you hear the new Termite? An explosion cat? Explosion cat? Just like I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall on that one like business meeting with the managers. Like, what's gonna be your new artist name? Ah, yes, Explosion Cat. I have not heard this call out. Oh, Boom Kitty. Okay, this fucking Zalakill. Why you gotta do me like this? It's Boom Kitty. It's the Master 2 Blades of Chaos, right? 2 days ago. Haven't heard it. But I'll bookmark it so I can listen. You really had me thinking. Someone out there on SoundCloud was named Explosion Cat. You know what? I'm going to look it up now. Just to spite you here. I'm just gonna go Explosion Cat. Someone, clearly. Someone. There it is. I found the one and only Lord Explosion Cat from Dallas. Lord Explosion Cat is here. And when you look for that on like other things, there's a 46-second indie song from 3 months ago called Catbird Explosion with the greatest cover art of all time. Apparently. Wait, why is the window so off center? Jesus. Just give me a... There you go. Okay. Liz? Who's Liz? Liz the cremator. Should we listen?
Catbird, catbird,
Catbird.
explosion. Catbird, 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 explosion. The
Explosion.
bird and it caused
Love it.
an explosion. The cat is not a bird, 'cause it's a cat and it caused an explosion. Catbird, catbird. Everyone
Catbird.
wants to
Oh.
be a catbird.
Everyone wants to be a catbird.
Catbird, explode. The catbird, catbird, catbird. Everybody wants to be a catbird.
Everybody wants to be a catbird.
Catbird, everybody wants to be a catbird.
22 people decided this was worth their time, and I am happy to include myself in that group now. I feel privileged. I feel privileged for having been able to listen to this absolute cinema masterpiece. This is why we need to fight back against AI.
Bird,
AI could never do Catbird Explosion.
bird, catbird, explosion.
Okay, guys, I'm just gonna have to ask you to please signal boost this. I'm gonna have to ask you to signal boost this. It's just... You have to do this. Catbird Explosion. Everybody wants to be a catbird. AI could never. Paul, how do you feel now? Shut up. Fuck you. Paul, how do you feel now that MIP 10 has been topped? Well, shit. Now I gotta go and make MIP 11. I gotta bring the series back so I can re-top Catbird Explosion. Paul, how do you feel now? Reinvigorated. My social battery just suddenly recharged with that. New cat protocol. Yes, the protocol. This is fucking... God damn it. It was so good. Catbird. You know what? It has some potential for it to be like an actual earworm. I can see the TikTok kids using that. Catbird, catbird, catbird explosion. The ultimate lyrics. I know who your secret collaborator is. Cool. Now live with it. Now live with that secret. Modus and Among Us collab when? I know that's not Among Us. I know that's from the Earthbound soundtrack. Cry about it. 2025 playlist? Do I really need to make a 2025 playlist? Because I've put out a grand total of 2 songs this year. Do I? Is it really necessary for me to create a 2025 playlist? You know, I guess if you count the ID showcase, I guess I've put out a grand total of 18, 19, 23 minutes of music. You know. Modus and Gardic collab when? That happens every other week though. When is next Modus live? Modus live, the stream, that's tomorrow. Less than 24 hours. Feedback. Be there. Live show? I don't know. I don't have any future shows booked for now. I'll be going to Spain Dubs, the same place where I played back in June. Madrid, same venue. I'll be going there next week. Exactly 7 days from now. At right around this time, I'll be raving in there. I'll be at the venue, going hard at those tunes. Yeah, exactly 7 days from now. At this time, I'll be at the venue. And the show will have already started by this time. So 51 minutes past midnight. 12:51 a.m. I think it is, right? Yeah, a.m. Next year, hopefully, 1 track. It'll definitely be more than 1 track. It'll definitely be more. I have quite a lot planned for next year. You guys are eating good. It's the first time in like at least a few years where I've put out like double digits songs. Right? Next year, I have double digits ready. So, and part of that has been thanks to me working this entire year on that behind the scenes. Okay, so the reason I spent this year working behind the scenes is because I have double digits ready for 2026. You probably said this, you probably said something about this, but I wonder if there are any URL fests to do. I believe ExoFest didn't happen this year. If it did, I would have known, and I may have offered to play. You can do a house party like Chime did in his spot. Yeah, but no one would attend, because this is, and this is true, not the UK. There's not as much of a scene here. There wouldn't really be any people, and I don't really have that many friends who are like into what I do, right? So I don't know if like many people that would really attend, right? It's not really a feasible thing for me to do. Chime definitely has more connections. He can make that happen. So yeah, last I checked, ExoFest either didn't happen or like got cancelled. I don't know if it's like it was going to happen and then it got cancelled, or like Jono didn't just want to do it at all. Do a live show in VR chat. Yes, with my state-of-the-art VR headset. I just glue a Nintendo Switch to my eyes. With like double-sided tape. Have you heard Turquoise by Jake Chotno? This one? No, that's not Turquoise. I think that's called 130. Right? It's the Vsauce tune. You don't need VR for VR chat. I know. I know because I've played a couple of VR chat URL fests. So yeah. Yeah, there is no need for a VR. I know that. But it's the when I first tried VR chat, I was super confused. So like there was my lobby, but then I could connect to other lobbies, but there didn't seem to be like one main VR chat lobby. Like it just the system, like how it worked, was a little bit strange. But maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. What about virtual riot chat though? Yes, virtual riot chat. Still, really, how would you say it? Jelly? No. No. I'm still mad at the situation where the Disciple Spain show was going to happen like a 2-hour drive away from here, and I didn't go because I was never told, because I never got any like promotions for it. I only saw it on socials after it happened. The city council only made social posts on that show after it happened. So I couldn't go because I never knew about it until it was too late. And like Virtual Riot came into play, Burial Alive came into play. It was just, yeah. Didn't happen. Comedy 101. Virtueller Aufstand. Virtuelle Aufstand. Sorry, my German is very Spanish. What? Comedy 1AO. I chuckled at that. That's bad. What? There's no way. There's no way. There is no fucking way. AU5 just posted a short on YouTube. He's dropping a new song on December 5th. You wouldn't believe the song name. You wouldn't believe what he named his song. You can't make this up. This has to be a fucking joke. Oh. Ah, shit. Sue, get lawyers. The visuals look the same too. Look. No way. That one is super. Look, I'm not going to sue. In fact, I'm going to embrace this. The font is so similar to. It is not, actually. It is so not like Superliminal. Hey, just let me. But like the original, please. There. Oh, I did use Pyrrolin for this. Oh, shit. Yeah, this one's a little wider. But that one isn't Superliminal, though, I don't think. Which one? This? Superliminal. Early preview on Patreon. There's even... First there was Superliminal by Modus with capital M. And this year it will be Austin's. It's going to be interesting this December. I was just thinking the same thing because I recently checked out most stuff. Hey, Panda, represent! Look, he probably has no idea that 4 years ago I put out a song called Superliminal. Okay? He probably has no idea. And if he knows, there's a chance he might have been inspired by it, which I am honored. Okay? So, do I comment Modus will sue soon? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Okay, now remix this. Ah, yes. AU5 Superliminal Modus remix. That's not gonna be confusing or anything. So, Modus Superliminal AU5 remix, and then AU5 Superliminal Modus remix. Just it is set. I gotta tell Austin about this. Hey, dude, do we remix each other now? I have a feeling AU5 might have heard the So Many Links remix. I don't know why. I can actually just tell you if AU5 heard. I can just go into my stats and probably find out if AU5 heard it or not. Okay, I can tell you that there was a bump, that there was a stat bump on November 20th, right? The top listeners from the last 30 days do not include AU5, from what I can see. It does include Safoni though, which shout out to Safoni. We're still listening to Superliminal all those years later. But yeah, he probably has no idea. And guys, please do not go around and harass him because like, oh, like what is Superliminal? I don't care. Okay, he can name his songs whatever he wants, and that's okay. All right. I haven't really paid attention to the preview though. How's it sound? Oh, shit. There you go. B flat. Ba-dee-dum, ding-ding. 150. Okay. B flat 150. That's all we know so far. December 5th. Gonna be interesting. Hello, me. Hey, Panda. Hello. Modus Subliminal A5 remix. It gotta be better than any A5 Subliminal Modus remix. Almost certainly. If that happened, almost certainly. It felt like Modus style tune, but you could say that for any AU5 Modus comparison though, right? Because he and I have pretty similar sound styles. It's just that I lean more on the orchestral side of things. All right, Modus and B flat. When was the last time I worked on B flats? Yeah. Funnily enough, the latest tune that I have in B flat is codename Austin. Is this a coincidence? I think not. No, wrong sound. There. Yeah. As for AU5, yes, I remember Freefall. I know I'm only alive in Freefall. Might have to mash up Superliminal and Superliminal now. Just imagine that naming scheme. Superliminal and Superliminal. AU5 is practically a genre with how specific the sound profile is. Yeah, dude. It's like he has his style down to a T, right? And, well, to be honest, our sound is kind of very specific as well. But, yeah. I'd say the most Modus-like modern A5 too is probably Resurrection with the choirs. Aha. Yeah, so kind of like, what's this tune that has this pattern? Like the closest is the Astral Realm. At least that I can think of right now. Dun 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 dun. Right? I probably call it. Just call it hyperluminal. Just call it hyperluminal. Wait, if what if that's that secret AU5? No, it's not. It's not an AU5 collab. If not, I would be much more. If not, it would have probably slipped. It would have probably been the world's loudest secret, the world's worst kept secret, you know? Under luminal. Just call it luminal. Ah, yes, because the supers cancel out. Subluminal. But subluminal is less than superluminal, right? So, okay. In the meantime, while AU5 Superliminal doesn't come out, you can listen to the Modus version of Superliminal, right? In fact, let's listen to it, because why not? Bro, snipe the drop. Look, I know exactly where the drop is, and it's right there. I can pull almost any Modus song, and I can tell you where the drop is. It's a skill that I'm not exactly proud of having, but I do. My first Modus song was Subliminal VIP. Yes. Can I show it? Yeah. Okay, this one's a little harder, but the drop is either here or here. Let's check. Okay, it's not, so it must be here. Yeah, there you go. Drop sniped. Yeah. But everyone can tell where the drop is, though. Yeah, just tell me, like, the Snowblind remix. Well, this one's pretty easy. You can just... And the second drop as well. It is pretty easy because, like, there's the fade out. There you go. Right. There was a remix contest for Superluminal in 2023. And, well, there wasn't a contest. There was a curated compilation. Okay, so I basically handpicked these artists to participate and do a Superluminal remix. So it wasn't a contest. Okay, so I picked Cosmic Fluid, Aquarius Fourth, Yobio, Omnicorum, Matayo, Desex, DMA and Irite, Cyberscythe, and so many links, and then Vidson, fellow Spaniard, to collab on Subliminal VIP. So, yeah. Okay, but can you snipe them on Spotify, though? Ultra difficulty. That's a little harder, yeah. What is the next contest? No idea. I wouldn't know. I don't have any planned. I want to have an NYP remix. You can remix it now. It just won't be official. I'm not sure if I'll ever host a remix competition for New York Protocol. It could be nice to, like, but I will tell you, I don't have stems for all of them. I don't have stems for, like, the first 3. I probably, like, if I really looked, like, if I really were to, like, dig through my computer, I could probably find some stems for NYP4. But the ones that I know I have stems for are NYP9 and 10. Those I have full stems for, like, full individual track stems for. NYP8, I have only mixing stems, I think. So it's just all the instruments in one stems, all the sub, the kick, the snare, all the drums, right? So I have like 6 or 7 stems. That's it. But that's not very useful for a remix contest. But if I had saved more stems, it would have been really interesting to, like, make a remix competition where you guys could pick to remix, where you guys could pick a remix out of any out of any chapter of NYP. So you could just pick one or multiple NYPs to remix. So NYP remix contest, you can remix any song, like, 1 through 10, right? And you could choose which song you would remix. That would have been really cool if I had stems for all 10. So if I had full stems for all 10, right? Right now, it's unrealistic for me to be able to export stems for the first few New York protocols, because those projects have been through several computers now. And I still have the FLP files, but I'm probably lacking. I'm probably missing a lot of plugins now. I no longer have Nexus, which I used in OMP1. Things are, like, in different directories now, so a lot of samples would probably be missing at first, and I have to, like, just relink those samples. And it's a bit of a hassle. The Alan Walker plugin. Displace remix contest. I would have to reach out to Rushdown about this, to Chime. Basically, I would have to have Chime's green light for me to do a Displace remix contest. And even then, if that were to happen, if that was possible, the winners would not be releasing on Rushdown, because Rushdown is not a thing right now, right? Wish I could get stems from Time Does Not Pass By. I don't know if I have stems for Time Does Not Pass By. That one's pretty old. Wait, so in NYP lore, the superluminal ship is destroyed by the protocol. So the humans use the superluminal ship, right, as a decoy. So the protocol destroys the superluminal ship, thinking it's going to trap them, right? But then the destruction of the superluminal ship is what generates enough energy to warp them to the astral realm, right? To warp both the humans and the protocol to the astral realm. Because in the astral realm, the protocol is powerless. Because, as was established in the original release of the astral realm in 2021, in the astral realm, no evil can exist. Protocol is evil, obviously, so the protocol has no power there. It loses all of its power, and that's the only reason that the humans with the gatekeeper and the creator can win the battle. It's because they take the humans have they come up with the game plan to essentially sacrifice the superluminal ship, and with it any way to return home. Later we learn that they're not coming back to the universe anyway. they're going into a new one. But yeah, it's just they basically play the protocol into getting warped to the astral realm, and that's where they get him, because it's powerless there, right? And that's why we need Astral Realm Season 2. I mean, you need it. Like, it's your, like, just you have a violent need for Astral. It's just, if I don't get Astral Realm Season 2 within the next 48 hours, my brain is gonna have an aneurysm. We could also put that on the Out of Context compilation. 212. Lumi Lore Drop. Netflix exclusive series. Dude, further down the line, if that were possible, it would be so cool to have like a film reinterpretation of the story of the protocol with like live action, and say the story starts on like an advanced version of Earth thousands of years into the future with real humans. They come up with the protocol, and then they just, yeah. So like a reimagining of the original story of the protocol in like film format would be sick. But you know, right now I'm not $1 million studio. I am a $100 studio. You know. I think I actually want GTA 6 to be before something. No Astral 2 until then. You can be sure it's not gonna happen. I have other things to do. Does the superluminal seal at all in any way? What do you mean seal? It gets destroyed by the protocol, right? Because it thinks that that's gonna hurt the humans, when in reality it's the humans wanted the protocol to destroy the superluminal. For a movie, you just need UE5. Yes, and an ungodly amount of time. You just somehow think that I have the magic button where I press it and suddenly, it might be a movie. No. No, that's not how it works. Actually, GTA 6 will be the last thing that ever happens. Yeah, so it'll be the heat death of the universe, the last, like, the last black dwarfs will evaporate, and then GTA 6 will come out. Seal as in the animal? I don't know. UE5 is crazy powerful. I don't doubt it. But, you know, like I said, I am personally done with NYP. New Year Protocol, for me, okay, I have completed that. That part of modus is complete. I'm going to move on to new stuff. I am moving into this new era, so to speak. I know, because that's cool now. People on social say, oh, it's new era. right? That was suddenly cool now. At the end of the heat death of the universe, Rockstar Games will come back to life to release GTA 6 to an audience of rapidly evaporating black holes. Ah, yes. Rapidly? You mean like a Google years, at least? So in year Google 2026, GTA 6 comes out. Does the subliminal speak at all? Dude, it's a ship. Do ships have mouths? Just saying. Oh my god, it's past 1 a.m. What do I do, guys? The protocol is a cube. I mean, yeah, but it lives. It is an entity. It is a living thing. It can think for itself. Yes, it takes the shape of a cube. That's just like its natural form. But realistically, it could take the shape. Since it's a universal entity, it could take on the shape of anything. If anything, it could shape itself to be the same as humans, right? So, like, it could have reshaped itself into like a human clone, into like an like an evil human clone. But that would have been very confusing for the animation film. So, like, having a human face, having a winged human face an evil winged human, that would have been very confusing. Who is that standing beside Paul? This? No idea, bro. He's just been chilling there. Not like speak, like communicate, like have a personality. No, it's just a ship. Ships fly. They don't have personalities. They fly. If they're characters in the Cars movie, yes, they do. Ah, yes. Talking spaceship, the USS Subliminal. Man. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I really need some rest. I've been out all day, literally. My back is hurting for holding a heavy camera, holding a full frame camera, hands in the air for like 10, 20, 30 minutes on end. No survey scramble. Hey, but we got some pretty fun conversations out of it. Some pretty nerdy ones as well. I enjoyed today's stream. Just like talk and chill and borgar. Talk and chill and borgar. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. We will be doing feedback tomorrow, Saturday, November 29th, 7 p.m. Central European time. That one's starting at its regular time, unlike this one. We started an hour late. Although I will say thank you guys for putting up with that. You guys still joined and still made the stream very interesting and very fun. So thank you. Round of applause to you for round of applause to you for staying here even with the slightly out of place schedule. I rank this the 63rd place out of all Friday chills. Wow. So yeah, like Opal said, what is the first? Which one was the first? To Catch an Imposter was really good. The new aluminum Gardic phone was unhinged. That was insane. What else? Because there are some absolute bangers. There are some absolute Friday chill bangers. Lord Drop YouTube Shorts when who's gonna watch that though? Because I've already tried the Lord Drop thing. I did a couple reels at the beginning of this year. I did like references in NYP10 to other New Year protocols kind of reel, and I did 2 parts. They didn't do very well. So do people want Lord Drops? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to save that for my more, what do you call it? More involved, for my closer circle, for my closer audience, right? For my more invested audience, right? Because the TikTok kids don't want lore drops, or like lore like speaking. They don't want that. Oh yes, and then the protocol did this. It's just people want Astral Realm 2, and by people you mean you, right? My Baby No Money remix is almost hitting 10K on YouTube. Shocker. Oh? No, I mean, just it's not a roast. It's an objective fact. Only he asked for it. An egg on burger? Yes? What else would you want there to be in a burger? You eat your burgers with no eggs? Okay, I see you. Speak like a Reddit stories video while lore dropping. But would that work though? Like, do you see like reels going viral of people dropping their own like music lore, or like talking about their, I don't know, borgar lives 1 hour. Don't be a borgar. I have a massive club banger for you tomorrow. Let's go. Modus lore drop with Subway Surf. Oh yeah, like just like Neil deGrasse Tyson clips, but I just dump myself over Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I just talk about the protocol, and then Subway Surfers. Oh my god, we have struck gold here. I'm just gonna go ahead and like download like 2,000 Neil deGrasse Tyson clips. And then I'm gonna mute his voice and replace his voice with mine. So I'm gonna dub myself over him talking about the protocol while having subways. And that's not gonna happen, by the way. That's not going to happen because it is cursed. It is cursed as fuck. Okay, I'm not doing that shit. Hire Morgan Freeman to talk about the protocol, dude. Like, you know those like documentaries where they would have like Stephen Hawking, like his computerized voice talking over the like space footage. So you would have like footage of like space flights like going around the universe, and then over that you would hear the computerized voice of Stephen Hawking over it. You know, we could do something like that, but it's just like the same computerized voice, like say Microsoft Sam talking about the protocol. Microsoft Sam on. Oh my god! Now I have to see this. Is this the real Microsoft Sam?
Hello, Microsoft Sam.
That is not Microsoft Sam, by the way. That's not the real Microsoft Sam. No, this is this ain't it. Microsoft and these are some shitty AI websites. Free Microsoft Sam text-to-speech online. Why is it so hard? What is this? AI slob websites? Online TTS. Sam TTS? Oh my god. This is real? SWAT, yeah? Let's go! Okay, we got Microsoft Sam. Now, can we chalk the dialogue for NYP10 in here? And then we can like play space footage over it, and that's how we end the stream. Space flight, 4 hour. Okay, here we go. No, but like VFX. But like VFX of Planet Earth. Okay, this'll do. Oh boy. It's take.
The war was over. The Great Alliance watched as the protocol shattered into an endless sea of light. As the light faintly subsided, the humans looked on at the remains of their once revolutionary
Alright guys, it's been a fun stream. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you tomorrow in Feedback Hour.
The light pushed them away.
Bye-bye.
Yet once again, they persevered. Memories of their voyage summoned all around them, as the gates to a new world manifested and opened. The humans bid their home and their allies farewell, and crossed the threshold. Stars, galaxies, worlds never to be discovered were left behind, fading into the distance. The eyes that witnessed darkness and death now witnessed life and light, as a new...
Sorry, it's just, if I put it full screen, it goes full screen on the full, like, 32:9 thing. So, my best bet is to just crop it and just do this. Oh, and now you can see me again. Okay, here we go. That's it. That's it. This is it. All right. Bye!
born universe emerging their final goal, and the end of their journey. The light pushed them away, yet once again, they persevered. Memories of their voyage summoned all around them, as the gates to a new world manifested and opened. The humans bid their home and their allies farewell, and crossed the threshold. Stars, galaxies, worlds never to be discovered were left behind, fading into the distance. The eyes that witnessed darkness and death now witnessed life and light, as a newly born universe expanded around them, and away into infinity. A new beginning, in the realm beyond. With all dimensions returned to undying equilibrium. At last, they found the truth,